Hi there, it's Mr. Clark. Welcome to lesson 7.2.1 on the basic phrase model. The basic phrase model boils down to tonic, dominant, tonic. That's all it is. Obviously, there's a lot to unpack there. But tonic, dominant, tonic, which is basically exactly what we've been doing with all of our two-function ear tunes. So your tonic is either major 1 or minor 1, your dominant is 5 or 5/7, or if you're in ordinary Mixolydian, your flat 7 chord fills the same role. It's a subtonic chord, but it fills a dominant function in our basic phrase model. So if it is functioning as tonic, we're going to use T for tonic. If it's functioning as dominant, we're going to use D for dominant. Not every one of these chords will necessarily be a dominant function, even though 5 is the name for a 5 chord is also a dominant chord. It doesn't necessarily always function as a dominant chord. This sounds confusing, but let's take a look at Au clair de la lune. So this is how the tune goes. Beautiful. So if we're going to harmonize that, so on this top line, I've written what the chords literally are. Beautiful. That we've named the chords, we have read the words. That doesn't mean we understand what's going on. We need to find out where the cadences are, where the phrases are. So here's one phrase, and here's another phrase. 4 plus 4. It's a period. No, it's not a period because the two cadences are exactly the same. Period has to have weaker cadence, stronger cadence. So this is just two phrases in a row. Because there are only two phrases, we can only have two dominant areas. Each phrase can either go tonic dominant if it ends on a half cadence, or it'll go tonic dominant tonic if it ends on an authentic cadence, or I suppose a plagal cadence. So in this case, it ends on tonic. So that last tonic is going to be a tonic area. The chord immediately before it is a 5 chord that's going to function as a dominant. Everything before functions as tonic. Because that's all kind of leading up to the end of the phrase, where the last 5 to 1 is really where we feel that dominant resolving to tonic. There's more weight on that contextually. And the second phrase is literally the same as the first phrase, so I'm not going to talk through that again. So we call this our first level analysis, and then this is our second level, or our contextual analysis, because it gives more context to what the individual chords are. Like, you could go, there are wrong ways to do contextual analysis. But if you don't understand how those words work together in context, you're not going to derive any meaning from it. Same thing here. You can label all of these chords, but that doesn't tell you anything. This is telling you something about the phrases and where different areas happen. So these are dominant chords in the literal sense that they're 5 chords, but they don't serve as dominants functionally. They're just supporting passing tones in the melody, and they aren't part of a cadence. Dominant is going to be part of your structural cadence. 5, 2, 1. There are wrong ways to do contextual analysis, now that I'm reading it like a normal person. But there can also be multiple correct ways. Like any sort of analysis you do in any class, whether it's analyzing your data from a science lab or analyzing a poem in English class, there will be gray areas where you can argue one way or another. This one's pretty clear. There's not a lot of arguing going on. But as we move forward, there will be a lot more places to be like, well, it could be this or it could be this. And we'll try to discuss those as we go. Take care. See you next time.